I often get asked, what is the best way to rename the admin account in a Palo Alto Networks firewall? And the answer is you don't. The solution is to create a new account and then delete the old one. But there are some things you should be doing to secure that new account. And that's what I want to show you on today's video. First thing we're going to do is log into the firewall using our default admin account. Next thing we're going to do is come over here to the Device tab, Administrators, and you see we cannot rename this account for a couple reasons. It's the default and we're logged in as it. So we're going to create a new account and we're going to call this local admin, just like this. And we're going to give it a password, something secure. It does need to be a super user. I'm going to click OK and then commit this. Commit's done. I'm going to log out. We're going to log in as local admin. Now, the significance of logging in as local admin is really so that we can grab a filter string out of the system log indicating that local admin had just logged in, and then we can notify our entire team whenever that event just happened. Now, you can see there's some historical logs from when I was testing this previously, but the key thing we want is right here, this filter string that description contains authenticated for user local admin. Make sure that this is something you grab out of the log so that there's no typos or whatever. Then you want to come over here to the Device tab. We're going to go down to our log settings, and we're going to send a system log entry via email. So I've got my email profile already created here. Now you can see this is where you'd set that up. The destination defined in this email profile should be the entire IT team that manages firewalls at your organization, so that when this log entry is seen, right, we get an email that goes to every one of the firewall admins indicating a few things. One, someone used this emergency access or this local admin account. That is or should not be normal behavior. Everyone should be logging in with an LDAP radius TACACS account, which we'll create here in a second, but you definitely want to set this up so that whenever that emergency account is used, everyone is notified. Then you can follow up to see, did this account get compromised somehow? Did somebody key log the password and they're using it for abuse? Or is there an admin who's kind of being lazy or forgot their password? We should chastise that admin because local admin shouldn't be used in that scenario. And really just used in emergency scenarios. So anyway, let's put in our name of our log entry here. We'll just click OK. So now we'll get that email notification whenever that local admin logs in. Next thing we want to do is log in with our everyday accounts. To do this, we're going to set up LDAP on our firewall. And I'm just going to call this local AD, add in my server, and pop in its address. Make sure that the port you are specifying matches this setting here. By default, these two would not match up. So 636 is the default, is the SSL port. And then the type you pick, I'm going to pick Active Directory. The bind DN, think of this as the LDAP speak for how to talk to your DC. So or your domain, mine's going to be, there we go, cyberhome local. And then the bind DN, think of this as the username. And the one I'm going to be using is UID agent at, and then your password. And then for security, let's go ahead and verify the certificate. And now that we've created our local LDAP profile, this tells us how to talk to the domain. Next, let's bring in an authentication profile that defines who is able to authenticate. So we're going to call this local AD firewall admins. I'm going to reference LDAP like that. The server profile, local AD that I'd created earlier. Next, we're going to come over and create the admin account in the allow list. So this is going to be just Mitch for now, because that's the only user I want to log in, and that's the format he'll be entering his username. And then next we need to create the administrator account that links back to Active Directory. So to do this, I'm just going to put in the same username that I put into the allow list. The authentication profile I'm going to reference is the one I just created, and I'm going to give it a administrator role of super user. And that's it. I'm going to go ahead and commit this, and then we'll test login with my Active Directory account and delete the default admin account. All right, commit's done. I'm going to go ahead and log out. Log in the LDAP account. Awesome, everything looks great. And then we'll go ahead and get rid of the default admin account now. So all we have is our LDAP admins and then our local emergency admin. And if anyone ever does log in with that local emergency admin, the admin team will get an email about it, such as this, right? So, you know, from the firewall, whoever it was sent to, and you can see down here, authenticated for local user admin, and from where they logged in from, and we'd want to follow up with the whomever owns that IP and say, you know, why was that account used? So hopefully this helps you all figure out how to change the default admin username and better secure your firewalls and Panorama. Thanks for watching.